Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Egyptian wing of the Museum of Historical Preservation and Modification. We have in store for you an exciting night of performance, discovery, and adventure. Tonight is about the wonders of the Egyptian afterworld. Welcome to Amduat, 12 Hours of Ra.
I'm Laura Boutros. I am the writer, director, creator of Amduat, the 12 Hours of Ra. Amduat meaning the text of the hidden chamber in ancient Egyptian.
In death, an Egyptian's true name is written on the scrolls of Ma'at, a record of their passing, allowing them into the Hall of Judgment.
I really wanted to focus on this ancient Egyptian myth, the 12 Hours of Ra, in which he travels through the ancient Egyptian afterlife, called the Duat, in a journey to rebirth himself and the sun and the world, essentially, as a means of exploring my Egyptian-American diaspora. I've split the show into 12 hours, aka 12 scenes, and looked at each hour and what Ra experienced and tried to find a moment in my life and in Egyptian-American life in general in which these things interact.
Today we take an essential step in defeating terrorism.
ISIS.
I was born in America, but I'm Egyptian also. I'm Egyptian-American. I'm American-Egyptian.
So it is interrogation of the curator as to whether they are American or Egyptian. Where do their loyalties lie? And how we as Egyptian-Americans feel sometimes that we can claim neither side. We can neither claim to be American because we are Egyptian in descent, and we can't claim to be Egyptian because we've grown up our whole lives in America. So what does that interrogation look like? Is it a stalemate? Is it abusive?
I don't know anything. I have done nothing wrong. Hey, what do you think you're doing? I'm back inside. Sleep till morning, drink till morning, play until morning is the common embrace right inside and around and surround. Those of us in the middle can claim neither. We are guilty.
Growing up, I never saw Egypt on screen in any way that wasn't 9/11 or ISIS or terrorism. And then when I did see it, it was the fetishization of ancient Egypt, and it was the whitewashing of ancient Egypt. And I wanted to do something that captured what it means for a retranslation, a restitution of these sorts of aesthetics, and put it on stage in such a way that was true, was not just myth, but our reality. And bridging that gap between ancient Egypt and what is current Egypt that isn't terrorism or any of that sort of thing. And sort of discuss these moments of Orientalism that have appeared on screen in things like Aladdin and Sinbad and all of these like really big films and television shows. Seeing Egypt as Egyptians or Egyptian Americans know it was something that I had never seen before, so that is what I wanted to do.
That is my sarcophagus.
I've done a lot of research on artifacts and the function of the museum space in the artifact collection and grave robbing. I found that there were just a lot of similarities across the board of how my identity has been stolen in the same way that these artifacts have been stolen. I want people to look at the way that they experience museums in a different way. Because that is sort of the core of this, is that the audience is coming here to experience a museum tour. There's these conventions where you look at this artifact, there's a little tableau or something explaining where it came from, but I want you to think about where it did come from. And what is the history beyond this, maybe the history that is unwritten, and what is this legacy of colonialism in creating a lot of these museums. I feel like the conclusion of this show is an attempt to work through some of the issues, but as we've been saying as a cast, this doesn't solve racism, this doesn't solve anything. It is just a way to attempt to find out, to stitch together who I am as a person, who they are as people. And ultimately, the theme of the show is namelessness and you choosing your own name. What do people call you? What is your titles? and the curator is able to do so at the end of the show.
I am American born, Egyptian bred. The legacy of Egypt, the future of America. I am called the curator. My name is Rami Bishay, and I am worthy of your time.